Let's talk about coronavirus and for provinces that are not really making a good influence. And I'm talking about Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, and Alberta. So why don't we look at Quebec first? So Quebec, they weren't making some good decisions, like such as letting people, healthcare workers who have coronavirus, let back in to work to have like take care of patients, which really triggered a lot of alarm bells from people because that is technically not really safe. And there are some regulations, health regulations are kind of more freer than compared to other. And Quebec is like, uh, last time I checked, they're number two on high on the list of coronavirus cases, high list, so right behind Ontario, which Ontario is the highest, and Quebec, they've been opening up some stuff more early and less loosening up on restrictions, which is not really the good time right now for Canada to do kind of stuff, especially at the time they were looking at, especially Omicron variant, and as the recent Sunwing flight from Dorval, Quebec to Cancun, Mexico, yeah, and those hooligans had, you know, had coronavirus and passed it on to some other passengers, and as one of the passengers, student Rebecca St. Pierre said, yeah, several passengers ended up getting coronavirus, and yeah, so also and also there have since it has been reported that ever since the Omicron variant was discovered in South Africa, some people from who are visiting there returned to they arrived at the airport in Ottawa and then made their way back to Quebec or wherever in Quebec they live in, and yeah. Quebec is also dealing with the Omicron variant, and they're not doing it in a well way right now. Now, Ontario. Yeah, Ontario's not really doing a good job right now. So, yeah, we're still dealing with the highest number of coronavirus cases, including also variant cases, though variant cases haven't really even been reported now. And, you know, and some of these mistakes are made by some people, like, and though we're not getting a lot of people that get vaccinated, there's a lot of anti-vaxxers, and people aren't handling it well. And some anti-vaxxers, they were outside Doug Ford's house, and they were like they wouldn't let him in, and they were like and they were trying to enforce him to change the rules. And although they sh- they shouldn't even have done that, and some people were also protesting and not in the park, but instead of they did in as you probably remember that they didn't outside of a state hall, and even And then it's been revealed some people are spreading misinformation about the vaccines, and that you could get the coronavirus from vaccines. This hasn't just happened recently, but last year it has in Kingston on Canada Post mailbox. They've taped to it, and someone from the Kingston area or Canada Post took it down because it was spreading bias information, misinformation, and still people. There are like a lot of people who are reluctant to get vaccinated. My body, my choice. Sort of doing the same thing the USA is doing. And the worst fact is, variant cases are not being updated since mid-December, and a major concern that many people are pointing out that the school safety regulations are not 100% exact and not 100% safe. So not just so students, parents, teachers, those working in the education field, and even politicians, like including Ontario's NDP party leader Andrea Horwath also pointed out how the Ontario government was not being 100% specific on what they were actually doing, and the government is still working on things instead of just actually completed the the things that were promised that they were actually promised they would do, but they're still working on it. And that also Andrea Horwath also mentioned that they're not showing coronavirus cases in schools, and mentioned how parents are unsure that how can they be sure that their kids are safe at school when, and even the fact that some teachers are not 100% clear with these new regulations that which they were not instructed on, and the teachers are trying to, yeah, okay, so what are these regulations? You didn't tell us about it, and that kind of sort of way, and yeah. And yeah, Ontario has a lot of students going back in class, and then a few days later on online classes again, and back and forth and back and forth. So yeah, it's really chaos over here, and and that Ontario has the most amount of Omicron cases compared to other provinces is not something where Ontario should be celebrating about. Alberta. So Alberta has some tight regulations too. So like Ontario does, but including the general entering sports arenas, you have to have your mask on, proof of vaccination, and and also 50% capacity, and just general or if other games, indoor sports, same thing that applies to those 12 and up. So some people had to, they had to temporarily close their business, or completely close their business, or they were sort of hanging on. But there was there's a lot of anti-coronavirus people over there too, and but also there were some people who were concerned, why can't you let our kids getting vaccinated, but now can't prove that, so now that's not a problem, but 3 months ago it was, and so it seemed all fine after the kids can five and plus can get vaccinated to ensure children health too against coronavirus. But this really changed things. So the medical officer of health for province Alberta, Dr. Dina Henshaw. So she made the mistake of saying this. She said that the regulations should they be, or they should be followed, but is not recommended. This really changed a lot of things. So that really got a lot of support from the anti-vaxxers and people who like hate regulation. I want to go back to like when coronavirus didn't start. Those people were really going with that idea, and this also made things worse with even movie theater company Cineplex actually they went along with Dr. Dina Henshaw's idea, and they are like going against the actual coronavirus rules and regulations, and this they actually Cineplex actually applied this to every other province that where their movie theaters are, and which doesn't really make it a good safe idea for and you shouldn't go to a Cineplex right now. And unlike Landmark theaters, which Landmark instead they follow regulations Monday to Friday, and Friday. Actually, it was Sunday to Thursday, and they follow regular regulations, 50% capacity, masks on. While on Fridays and Saturdays they have full capacity, but still following general regulations, mask on, and other coronavirus regulations. So still on Friday and Saturday, the Landmark, their movie theater company, still has movie theater goers to follow these regulations. So now British Columbia, they're not very they haven't been managing things very well. British Columbia is known for not reporting any coronavirus case updates on Saturdays and Sundays, which is really concerning. They're one of the only provinces in Ontario that ever does this. They don't report at all. Though they do, enact regulations, what the report is not 100% exact, and or they don't report it at all. It really, in which they should, even though they don't show any regional reports. In British Columbia, they still should show the regular coronavirus case updates and some other stuff that's usually shown, and that other provinces do show, like Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. And then just recently, some Ontario, some physicians have been misusing their position and revealing false treatments that have not been approved for treating coronavirus, and also false information for vaccines. British Columbia, yeah, so yeah, many physicians over in British Columbia have been doing the same thing over there. And unlike Ontario, which had been reported, actually mentioned that some people who are actually doing this kind of stuff. Though the College of Physicians and Surgeons of British Columbia has decided to stay silent and is not showing any information that they should be showing, but it makes the British Columbia even more not trustworthy, and yeah, and that's just one major mistake British Columbia is doing right now. So the highest number of coronavirus cases in this current order, Ontario's number one, Quebec is number two, Alberta and British Columbia in number three and four. And now we can see why, because some rules that enacted in these provinces, some have not been safe decisions made by the government, and even other government members see the flaws in this. Like one NDP leader, Andrea Horwath, is seeing, and some people like Dr. Dina Henshaw, and making a major mistake. And yeah, if you're going to the movie theater, don't go to Cineplex. Don't. Not until it's safe, and until they actually go back to the actual coronavirus regulations, not following what stupid Dr. Dina Henshaw is doing. Because this is not the time. Coronavirus is not an endemic right now. It's still an extreme, and and people should actually be aware. They need to really follow coronavirus regulations. Wear a mask, wash your hands, sanitize your hands, stay 2 meters or 6 feet away from other people. Get vaccinated, and also limit gatherings. And the new one, don't listen to any bias unless if it's actually and if like a person who is like a medical field actually says the information, also check with other people who are like in that same field, and check with those people too, because some people could be lying, like those 40 plus something physicians who have been spreading bias about treatment for coronavirus, and also lies about the vaccines. So yeah, check multiple people in the health field for that if you're unsure. You gotta commit, fight the endemic, coronavirus. So coronavirus, the coronavirus pandemic, things have not been pretty good right now, especially the number of hospitalizations today right now, and yeah, be safe. stay safe. And you're sure about information, and if you ask like healthcare professional, that you check others too. Stay safe.